Welcome gamers, and welcome back to another episode here on Solo Spelunking. And tonight I will be starting my my next fantasy series set in the Nantir Vale in the Point of Light setting introduced in Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition, but I will be using the Cairn rule set with a few modifications that I made to it. And if you want to know what these modifications are, please watch session 0 of this series, where I will be where I go over my character and over the rules, and also introduce you to the adventure that I will be playing. But before we begin, I would like to take a few moments and welcome those of you new to the channel, because after the last video I got around 6 or 7 or 8 new subscribers, and I was really overjoyed by this, because I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot if you're a big YouTuber with I don't know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but if you're just starting out like me, you're very happy for everyone that subscribes to your channel. So I was really overjoyed to see that you obviously like what I'm doing here, and that a couple of you subscribe to the channel. So thank you and welcome. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this content. I hope you stay a while. And those of you who did not yet subscribe, please consider doing so. It's only a click and it really helps the channel. All right, so before we start, I want to show you the pawn I will be using for my character. So this will be Vincent de Vega, a human adventurer, scoundrel and rogue, and I'm using the Pathfinder pawn of the iconic fighter Valeros. But yeah, I think it fits the character. So this is not Valeros, obviously. This is now Vincent, and I modeled my equipment that my character has also after this pawn. So I'm also wearing a breastplate armor and fighting with a sword and a dagger. What I do not have is the bow, because I didn't really have room in my inventory. And yeah, I'm more of an urban kind of guy, so a bow does not really fit the character. So this will be, this will be my hero. And yeah, like I said, our adventure takes place in the Nantir Vale, and my hero Vincent is on the road, on the King's Road from Fallcrest. Let me get this map here so that you can see it a little bit better. Is on the road from Fallcrest here within the Moon Hills on the King's Road, heading towards the barony of Harkenwold. And why does he have to do this? So, yeah, you see, Vincent, yeah, he is a scoundrel, an adventurer, and also, of course, a ladies' man who is obviously very good looking and attractive, and also very charming. And yeah, he's a ladies' man. So in a night of passion, he slept with a young and beautiful lady, but unbeknownst to him, or maybe he didn't want to know, this young and beautiful lady actually was the fiancée and would-be bride of the firstborn son of an influential trading family in Fallcrest. Yeah, so obviously this was not the smartest move Vincent could do, and he decided it is better to leave town for a while, to lay low, to let this thing blow over, because Fallcrest is not a very big town or city. So that you can get an idea, I will read this text to you that describes Fallcrest. So Fallcrest stands amid the Moon Hills at the falls of the Nantir River. The walled town hugs the river's eastern shore, and ranging farmlands and small forests dot the western shore. Falcrest imports ironwork from the dwarf town of Hammerfast and exports timber, leather, fruit, and grain, sending goods downriver to larger communities south of the Vale. Falcrest's resident population of 1,350 mostly consists of humans, halflings, and dwarves. The Falcrest Guard numbers 60 warriors, and law and order is maintained by the town's Lord Warden, a human noble named Farron Marklehay. Visitors to town often stay at the Nantir Inn on the west bank of the river. So not a very big town, and word travels fast in a town like Falcrest. So Vincent, he didn't really want to draw too much attention after what happened, and didn't want to get caught up in any trouble with the law. So he took his pack and left Falcrest before dawn, after the night of passion, after the young woman told him that she felt terribly sorry because of her upcoming wedding, and this was a mistake and he shouldn't have done it. He figured, it's best to leave town for a while. So he left before dawn and traveled along the King's Road through the Harken forest to the barony of Harkenwold. So let me tell you a little bit about Harkenwold. Half a dozen small villages lie along the upper vales of the White River. Together they make up the barony of Harkenwold, a tiny realm whose total population is not much greater than Falcrest's. The people of Harkenwold are farmers, woodcutters, and woodworkers. Little trade comes up or down the old King's Road. So this is the Barony of Harkenwold, and I got this out of this Dungeon Master's book, which was included in the 4th edition starter set. Alright, so I'm traveling along this road, and I've just cleared the forest as something catches my attention. So as I arrive in Harkenwold in the middle of the day, I've been on the road since before dawn. It's a broad, lightly settled valley between two arms of the Harken forest. You haven't traveled more than a mile or two into the valley before trouble appears. Rounding a bend in the road, you spy a pillar of smoke climbing into the clear blue sky. The source, hidden by rolling hills, is roughly a mile along a dirt track that intersects the road. Alright, so I see this pillar of smoke in the distance. This doesn't look good. Hopefully it's not the wood burning or the forest burning. I better see if I can get a closer look. So I quicken my pace a little. I hurry along over the bend to see if I can make out any more details. So I come up over the bend, over the hill, and I see a homestead, a somewhat fortified farm, it seems like, consisting of a main building, some sort of stable or shack maybe, and another little outhouse which is burning and stands in flame. And now I will have to make a willpower save to see if from where I'm standing I spot anything unusual, because I'm still somewhat far away. So I'm just using my trusty D20. I don't have any helpful skills like perception or anything. So it is a willpower save, because here willpower combines intelligence, wisdom, and charisma basically, and see if I can make out any details. No, I can't really make out any details because of the smoke. Maybe it's a little bit foggy also. So yeah, I throw caution out of the wind and quickly approach the homestead in case somebody needs help. And so yeah, I run up this little dirt trail that intersects the road after I came down the hill, and only as I am very close, I now spot a human male accompanied by a large wolf. So I will see the following. You see a human brigand, or a human that appears like a brigand, and the human, he wears a black cloak with a gray ring device, and he's preparing a pitch-soaked torch, laughing and taunting whoever's inside. They've already burned a small outbuilding, the source of the smoke column. All right. So, but because I approached without taking special care or caution, and I just ran up, the brigand spots me, and yeah, or the ruffian, and he immediately turns around and faces me, and the wolf, he turns around with him and growls a warning. And the brigand says, "Hey you, move on. This is Iron Circle business." And from inside the farmhouse, I hear a woman's voice. "Business? It looks like robbery and murder to me." All right, so this is the scene. And yeah, this is my empty Chessex battlemat, and it is underneath a clear acrylic sheet. And the good thing about this is that I can just take a wet erase marker, and I can just draw on this acrylic sheet. So I will just sketch out the scene real quick, so no need for that much detail, only like the basic essentials. I just see that I did this wrong, but never mind. So let's say this is the door to the farmhouse, and here up in this corner is the burning outbuilding. It burns, and here we have a cart, and let's see, let's add some difficult terrain to the mix. So wherever there's a small cross in the square, this is difficult terrain, like uneven ground, dirt, gravel, whatever. So a little bit of difficult terrain. And let's just put some blocking terrain here as well. So this is a larger rock right here, and we have a larger rock right here. And just to add some color, I also got a green one. Let's say here's some bushes. All right. So, and you see, with only a few sketches, you can set the scene. And yeah, I ran up from here, and this this here is the brigand, the Iron Circle brigand, and this is the wolf he's got with him. And I got these from Pathfinder Pawns as well, but please do not ask me from which collection, because I have too many to count, and I should have gotten organized, but now it's just a mess, and it takes me forever to find the right pawns. I need to get this settled one day. All right, so he had his pitchfork, and the wolf growls at me. So this is basically this scene. All right, so I heard the woman's voice, so this is enough for me. It looks to me like this is none of your business here as well. Why don't you throw away the torch and pick on somebody your own size, you weak coward? Ha! Pretty bold words for somebody who is about to be food for the wolves. Get him, Gnarl, get him! And he gestures for the wolf to attack me. And the wolf charges at me, or is about to charge at me. And at this point, we will roll for initiative, which in this case means I have to make a dexterity save to see if I can act before the wolf. And I really hope I do. All right. To just real quick to convert these stats, I mean, usually this encounter as written in the book features a lot of more enemies, but I'm all by myself, so this would be suicide. I got to tone them down a little bit, and of course I'm not using 4th edition stats, obviously, but I read an online article, I think it was the Cairn website, where it says how to convert basically on the fly, and it says that humanoids or creatures, they start with 3 points of hit protection and then 1 point for every hit die, which I translate into level. So this brigand, he is level 1, so he will have 4 points of hit protection. And let me just jot this down here real quick. So the brigand, ink is running out. I changed the cartridge later. So he's got a hit protection of 4 HP, and he is heavily armored. It says he has scale armor and a light shield, so I will give him an armor rating of 2. I say he deals d6 points of damage with his scimitar, and he also has a crossbow, which also deals 1d6, but would use 2 hands. He's not using it right now because he had a torch in one hand and the scimitar in the other. So he also has to equip his shield first. And the wolf also has 4 hit protection, no armor, and it deals d6 points of damage. And the brigand, he's got a strength of 10, and the wolf strength 8. So that would be the stats. And as I said, I do have a fray die that I can use. But first I need to see if I actually can act. Yes, thank you. A 2. Haha. So I get to act before the villains in the first turn, and then it alternates. Basically I prepare for the charge and close the distance myself to actually set myself against the charge and try to time it so that when the wolf tries to jump at me or bite me, I will thrust my bladed weapons into his belly. So I will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in Cairn you can move 8 squares for 40 feet. This is standard 1 square 5 feet scale. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I run up to the wolf and thrust my my sword and dagger, or I try to thrust my sword and dagger into his body. So I'm rolling d8 and d6 and using the highest die. Yes, 7. Haha. So this takes care, takes care of all of his hit protection. He only got 4, and I have 3 points of damage left over. So hit protection gone and strength reduced to 5. But the important thing is I trigger a critical damage save from the wolf, and I hope that he will fail. So which d20 to take for the enemy? Just take this blue one here. Or another one. No, I take, usually my enemy d20 is the black and white one. Yeah, this one right here. So, yeah, trigger a save. Yes, 9. It's a 9. Small dot is down here. So, yeah, I thrust my bladed weapons into his body. And, yeah, the wolf stumbles and a pile of blood crawls off and is basically out of the fight. You will pay for this, the brigand says. And now it's the brigand's turn. And yeah, he basically throws away his torch to equip his shield and moves towards me. 1, 2, and we engage in close combat. So yeah, it's his turn. He attacks and he deals, like I said, 1 wait a minute, damage reduction 1d6. Oh, d8 would be the crossbow, but he's not using it. All right, so 1d6 points of damage. I put the d8 in parentheses. All right, so he approaches me. You will pay for this, you scum. And he will deal 1d6 points of damage. I try, of course, to sidestep his blow. Ha, 2. So this is negated by my armor, but for cinematic purposes, I will interpret it as that I timely dodged out of the way with a little, yeah, sidestep. So, ha! And now it's my turn again, and I again use my sword and dagger. 6 and 7, yes. So I'm using the 7, but he's got a damage reduction of 2, which is still enough to get his hit protection to 0, because 5, and I reduce his strength by 1 to 9. But the important thing is this will also trigger a critical damage save, but he passes. But now, if you watch my first video, session 0, another adjustment that I made, otherwise it would be pretty deadly against multiple opponents, is that I do have a fray die, which I imported over from Solo Heroes, which is basically a damage die besides my attacks, an additional damage die that I can deal every round, even though if I do not attack. Yeah, so I sidestepped and I will use my fray die. 5 subtracted by 2 of 2 is armor rating, so 3 points left over. So his strength is reduced further to 6 and still triggers, or again triggers, a critical damage save, which he's failed spectacularly with a 20. So I sidestep his blow, and I see an opening underneath his scale mail, and I quickly twist my dagger in my hand, and from underneath the scale mail thrust it into his body upwards, and he coughs blood. You will pay for this. And then he goes down. All right. So we The wolf, he died someplace over here because he's also was badly injured and had internal bleedings. And this guy, he's dead here. All right, so I quickly, before I check the farmhouse, I quickly check if there's any danger of the fire spreading to other areas, buildings, forests, or whatever, trees. This is not the case, so I decide I obviously will just let it burn down. There's nothing I can do about it. Whew. That was close, but I came out unscathed. Hey, miss, you can come out now. They're dead. The wolf is dead, and whoever that was is dead. So what was going on here? All right, so I hear a noise of a heavy metal bar being pulled back, and a tough-looking woman carefully opens the door and looks out of the farmhouse. All right, so let's see. You hear, or I hear, the rasping sound of a heavy bolt being drawn back, and the farmhouse door opens. A half-elf woman of middle years steps out. She's carrying a battered old crossbow. Hey! You don't need this crossbow. I'm on your side. Please put it down. 2 boys of 15 or so follow after her. Mom, who is it? The woman looks around the farmyard, frowning at the bloodshed, and sighs. My thanks, stranger, she says. Those iron-circled jackal came to rob us. I barred my door, but he said he'd burn the place down with me and my boys in it. You saved our lives. But who are you? I am Vincent de Vega, traveling adventurer, and I'm very pleased to know you and to make your acquaintance. So, who are you? My name is Ilyana. Well, Ilyana, what business did this Iron Circle guy have with you? Why did he attack you? Who is the Iron Circle in the first place? Oh, the Iron Circle is a group of sellswords, mercenaries, and cutthroats who seized Harkenwold over a month ago. They've got Baron Stockmare imprisoned in his own keep, and they've been plundering the land ever since. They say they're collecting taxes, but it's robbery, pure and simple. Wait a minute, what do you mean? They seized Harkenwold. They took over the barony? Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. See, we're mostly farmers and woodcutters, not warriors. And when they arrived in force from the southern lands, there was not much we could do about it. Well, didn't you try to send for help? Did you try to get the word out to Fallcrest or Hammerfast or wherever? I'm not aware of any such attempts. Maybe Dargrimath can tell you more about this. Dargrimath? Who is Dargrimath? Well, Dargrimath, well, he lives in the village of Albridge, and I maybe shouldn't say this too loud. She comes closer and whispers, but I think he's trying to orchestrate a resistance, a rebellion. See, the people of Harkenwold, I think they're ready to rebel. They just need a spark to set things off. I think you should talk to Dargrimath, or maybe old Rayton, the druid. They both live in Albridge, and they know what to do. Albridge is just down the road. But please go carefully. Oh, wait a minute, what do you mean go carefully? I mean, you shouldn't be here all by yourself with your boys. I mean, what if they come back? What if this guy was a scout from a patrol or something, and now he's missing? I mean, you can't stay here. They will hold you responsible. They will kill you or burn you down. You gotta come with me. This is my home. I will not be driven from my home. Please be reasonable. What good is a home if you're dead? Think of your boys. All right, so I'm gotta make a persuasion check now, but or a willpower save to persuade her. But I have persuasion as a skill, so I get a +2 bonus to my willpower, which gives me an effective willpower of 11 for this save. And I try to convince her and the boys to leave with me. 1. Ha! Critical success. Well, she looks at me, takes a deep breath, looks at the farmhouse, looks at the boys. Yeah, I think you're right. A home can be rebuilt, but I would never forgive myself if anything would happen to my boys. They already lost their father. What do you mean they lost their father? Yeah. Those Reavers, they killed my husband when they invaded the Dale. My boys and I, we have been trying to get by ever since. Well, seems like you have done a good job so far. That was very brave of you to oppose this bastard. But, like I said, we should go to Albridge together. Quick, gather some valuables and some rations. Do you have anything that you can use as a weapon beside the crossbow? Yeah, I will get some stuff together. Maybe you even have some armor? Or take the shield and the scimitar from this dead guy here. It's better than nothing. Yeah, I will do that. I take the scimitar and the shield. And so, yeah, she... Wait here, I get some things. So she disappears back into the house, and while she's doing this, I pull the dead body behind and underneath the cart to make sure that it's not immediately seen from the road. And I also, even though it's yeah, not very pleasant, grab this dead wolf by the feet, by the legs, and drag him also underneath the cart. And as I'm done with that, Ilyana comes out with her 2 boys. All right, we are ready to leave. All right, so quick. There's not a moment to lose. We need to make haste. And on the way to Albridge, you can tell me more about those Reavers and about what happened here. All right, so we set off to Albridge. And now, the good thing is, I can just use a wet cloth. I got microfiber cloth here, and I can just wipe this board clean, and this is it. And ready for the next encounter. So if you now it's a little bit wet. I usually have a paper towel here with me. I'm looking for it, so just to give it a quick sweep to dry it off. I don't have the paper towel now, so I just use my arm, so that the next time you can just write on it. So yeah, just one paper towel actually is enough, because it's not really soaked. It's just a little wet to wipe this dry. And now you're ready for the next encounter. And I got this acrylic sheet. It was like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 euros at Amazon, and it's really huge. A large mat fits underneath it, so I can just recommend this. This is a really good setup if you have a dedicated gaming table like I do here in the den. You can just leave it, and yeah, it's good to sketch out quick encounters, or if you play a miniature skirmish, put a map underneath so that you have a nice even playing surface. All right, so we make our way, or we head to the village of Albridge. The village of Albridge. No, it is described here. All right, so we need, however, to see if while we're traveling to the village, anything happens on the road, a random encounter. Yeah, because maybe there's still Iron Circle patrols about who can cause trouble. So I will give it, yeah, let's say it is, actually I think it's pretty, let's say it is a 2 in 6 chance, 1 or 2 on a d6, that I might encounter a Iron Circle patrol. And of course I do. So let's roll another d6 to see if it's actually a patrol on the road, or if they're off the road making camp. So 1, 2, 3, they're on the road. 4, 5, 6, they're beside the road making camp, which would be better for me. Of course they're on the road. So now the question is, do I hear anything, or Ilyana, in advance that might give us time to hide? Let's say because maybe yeah, we spot them in the distance, or we hear them before they come around a corner or whatever. So let's make a willpower saving throw. And because we are 2 of us, Ilyana is with us, and she's a half-elf, I will roll with advantage, representing that we have basically 2 pairs of eyes and ears, and even a half-elven pair. So I'm rolling with advantage. However, I fail. 11, 11, and I got a willpower of 9. All right, so yeah, we are just coming around a bend in the road, and we couldn't see because of heavy underbrush to the left and to the right of the road. So as we come around this bend, we see a group or a pair of 2 Iron Circle, yeah, obviously Rangers or Scouts. So I got this pawn here. Here it says Iron Fang Scout, because this is like from Pathfinder. I don't know if they wanted to hint at the Iron Circle or not, but I think this is pretty fitting, because it seems like Iron Fang is some sort also in Pathfinder of mercenary organization or whatever. I'm not familiar with them. I just like to collect the pawns to use them in all kinds of games. So this fits. So these are Iron Circle Scouts. So they have a hand axe, leather armor, and a longbow, and a hooded cloak. And yeah, as we come around this bend on the road, we encounter these brigands. So once again, just sketch out the road real quick. So, oh no, wait, this is, actually I gotta throw this out. This is dried out. This one was the right one. All right, so we come around this road. It makes a bend here. So nothing too fancy, just to set the scene a little. And there is heavy undergrowth to the side of the road so that we couldn't see. And at this, where the road narrows a little bit, we spot these two scouts as we come across this bend. I'm taking point, and these little pawns are Ilyana's boys that go single file behind her. So this is the setup. All right, maybe we can talk our way out of this. So yeah, these two scouts, they eye us carefully. Hey you, where you going? Where you headed? Oh, just down the road towards Albridge. Albridge, huh? Didn't you hear about the curfew and the toll? No. Must have slipped by us. What do you mean with curfew and toll? Well, there's a curfew. Afternoon, everybody has to stay inside, and all those traveling the road, they gotta pay a toll. That is you. Oh, sorry, we didn't know that. So what's this toll for? You ask a lot of questions. What do you think it's for? It's tax to keep the roads clean and open. Yeah, of course. That makes sense. And how much is this toll? They look at us. They look at each other. It's 5 gold coins per person. 5 gold per person. All right. But I guess the kids are free, right? I mean, they got to travel with us. So I think it's just the adults. You think, huh? Just the adults? I don't think so. Are they on the road? Yes, they are. So it's 5 gold each. That'll be 20 gold. I look at Ilyana. Well, I do have 10 gold and I'm willing to pay because I don't want to endanger your kids. And of course, not myself also and you, but I have not enough. Do you have any money on you by any chance? Let me see if I got enough. All right, so Ilyana looks, let us just see if we got enough. She looks into her pocket, and I'll give it a 50-50 chance. So 11 plus, she's got enough. No, she doesn't. All right, so she's got, let's say, she's got 1d6 gold coins with her. No, let's make it 1d8. She's got 1d8 gold coins with her. Four. I only got 4 gold. Okay. See, we really don't have enough. We have 14 gold. We can give you 14 gold. And, yeah. Where are you based at? Are you based in Albridge? So we could get the rest of the money when we're in Albridge. I know somebody there. So, would that be something you could live with? We give you 14 gold and you let us pass. And you get the rest of the money when we are in Albridge. What do you think? Shouldn't we just kill him and take the money? I don't know. We don't want to crack down too hard on them. We don't want to risk open rebellion or conflict until our reinforcements have arrived. So, yeah, I think, let's see. All right, so I got to roll a d20, and if I roll 1 to 4, they will not go for it. If I roll 5 or higher, they will go for it. Yeah, they will go for it. Yeah, all right. Give us the 14 gold, and we will see you later in Albridge to collect the rest of the toll. Yeah, sure thing. All right. So we pay the gold, and yeah, they let us pass. And be careful, there might be bandits on the road. Ha ha ha. They taunt us as we move past them, and they disappear. Whew, that was close. I hope the Stargarmuth that you told me of, that he's willing to help us out here, and we should warn them that these guys might show up. Yeah, actually we should do that. All right, so we continue, and late in the afternoon we arrive at the village of Albridge. So Albridge is the second largest village in Harkenwold. It stands where the King's Road crosses the White River. The center of resistance to Iron Circle rule. The rebel leader in Albridge is Dargrimath, a retired adventurer. Of course, we don't know this yet. This is just for you so that you can get a little context. And for me, obviously. Yeah. Okay, as the adventure begins, the rebels are gathering arms and armor, exchanging messages with disgruntled folk in other villages, and posting lookouts to report on Iron Circle movements in the countryside. All right, so, and what the other thing? So we approach from the north here, and the first building described here are the Grimath stables. So we approach the village and we see a large fence that houses some horses and stables. And Ilyana says to me, these are the stables where Dargrimath lives, and he basically handles the stables. It's his business, if you will. So yeah, we should talk to him. You should talk to him. He knows what to do. Okay. So we shouldn't waste any more time. Let's talk to him. All right, let's see if he's there. All right, so we approach the stable and call out to him. Hello? Anybody there? Okay, and Dargrimath, he comes out and approaches us at the gate. Let me see. Dargrimath. All right. So at the gate, or headed towards the gate, comes a broad-shouldered, gray-haired man of 55 years. And Yeah. He greets us. Greetings. He looks at me. Haven't seen you around before. Adventurer, huh? I've had an adventure or two myself, a long time ago. Name's Dargrimath. Oh, Dargrimath. Then you're the guy I'm looking for. I think you know Ilyana? Yeah, of course. Ilyana, how are you? How are you holding up after the tragedy with your husband? Well, things could be better. I was lucky. This noble fellow here, who introduced himself to me as Vincent, he came by right at the right time. One of those Iron Circle thugs. Well, he wanted to do me harm and ill, and he threatened to burn the house down. But Vincent here made quick work of him and his wolf. Is that so? Well, then I think not only Ilyana, but I'm in your debt as well. Every dead Iron Circle brigand is a good Iron Circle brigand. Yeah, Ilyana said I should talk to you. She said you know what to do, or could fill me in about these unpleasant details. See, I came actually to Harkenwold to find some peace and quiet, to get out of the city of Fallcrest for a while, lay low, find some peace and quiet, and it looks like I've stumbled right into some sort of hostile takeover. Yeah, Ilyana was right telling you to talk to me. Now listen up. He comes closer. I'm organizing some sort of resistance, some rebellion. But if we are going to beat the Iron Circle, we've got to draw Redthorn out of his keep. We need to get him angry. There's a supply caravan reading out to Easthill tomorrow. You could rob it or ambush it. Gods, just picking a fight with Iron Circle's goons in any tavern in Harkenwold would be a good start. Wait a minute, slow down a little. Who is this Redthorn guy you were talking about? And why do you think actually I'm going to help you? Well, this Redthorn guy is the leader of the Iron Circle mercenary group here in Harkenwold. He's the guy who took over the keep in Harken and imprisoned Baron Stockmare. But while he's in his keep, he is basically well protected and invincible. Or unreachable, let's put it this way. And for your second question, why you should help us, well, maybe because it is the decent and human thing to do. What are you? Also some kind of mercenary? Didn't you see what these brigands did or wanted to do to Ilyana? This is why you should help us. Looks like you're good in a fight. I mean, look around you. We have woodcutters, woodworkers, farmers. They're not fighters. We can use any help we can get. And geez, I don't care. You can take all the gold you want from those brigands, if that makes you happy. If you're looking for some kind of reward. Yeah, slow down. It's all right. I do get the point. Let me think about it. Let me sleep over it. While we're at it, actually, talking of gold, while we were heading down here, we had an unpleasant encounter with an Iron Circle patrol. They looked like rangers or scouts to me, lightly armored, bows, hand axe, hooded cloaks. They looked like rangers, like scouts, and they wanted to press a toll out from us, but we didn't have enough money, so we still owe them like 6 gold pieces. They wanted 20. I had 10 and Ilyana had 6, but now we are broke. And which reminds me, I gotta cross out my gold here. Now we are broke, and they probably will be back here to collect what we owe. Could you help us out here? Let's consider it a down payment on me helping you. Yeah, I think I can scrounge up 6 gold pieces. And I can put you up for the night or a few days. I got a warm meal for you and a dry place to sleep if you don't have any money. So head in and we talk later. Just let's get this thing with the scouts settled should they return, and then we'll talk more. Yeah, all right. So we enter the stables and go into the main house, and Dargrimath sends a stable boy out to look out for the returning Iron Circle scouts with the clear instructions to alert us should they appear. And the evening is about to set, and we will spend the night in Albridge, and this will conclude the first session of this adventure playthrough. And we will continue next time here on this channel. And maybe some closing remarks. I'm not really sure still how to approach playing a published adventure solo. Usually when I play solo, as in my Star Wars series, I don't have really an adventure in mind. I just play like in an open world sandbox style and see where this takes me, and the adventure is generated by my actions, by random events, and by the GM emulator basically. Which of course is pretty nice because you don't know what to expect, and you are surprised. Here, if you play a published adventure, you are somewhat, of course, railroaded and follow a set structure. So as you might have seen, what I will do, I will use the adventure as is with the main encounters and storylines, but I try to add little flourishes like random encounters or other things to maybe deviate a little from this strict path, but still following the main storyline. I have no idea how this will turn out going through this adventure. I have, of course, read through this adventure, but only through the main setting, setup, and structure. I haven't looked at every encounter in detail, so I will basically adjust this on the fly and just see how this goes. So it's a work in progress. So this will be it for today. I thank you for watching, and if you have any good ideas how to approach a published adventure playing solo, please let me know in the comments. And thanks again for following this channel and for taking an interest in what I'm doing here. I really appreciate it, and as always, stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.